Hello! School years rarely pass without conflicts and clashes, but sometimes ordinary quarrels cross all boundaries. And when they do, unbridled cruelty manifests itself in quiet, seemingly ordinary students. Japan, famous for its unique etiquette and modesty, is no exception. Cheerful shouts come from the school hallways. During recess, a group of girls happily run out of the restroom, kicking someone's shoes. They have just finished brutally abusing their classmate by shoving her face in the toilet. At a different location, a high school senior named Mai Kasai stands in front of a mirror in her new room. She thought she would live her entire life in the comfort of the capital city, but her family unexpectedly moved from Tokyo to the countryside. Here, she will have to go to a new school, but Mai doesn't worry much. Her looks are great, she has good relations with her parents, and her new home is located in a picturesque area. She uses her smartphone to keep a diary of sorts and films her everyday life. The girl intends to behave modestly and friendly, as is customary in Japanese society.
そして、この新しい現実でも、決してはみ出さず、浮かないように。
After crossing the school gates, she begins her first day there. There are 28 people in the class, with an equal number of boys and girls. Several classmates, led by the red-haired Fujizuka, are discussing the arrival of the new girl. They are interested in the girl from the capital, but are not sure whether to accept her into their group. Another girl, Shino Odagiri, has been asked to help the new student get accustomed to the new place. Shino also moved here from Tokyo, and today she came to the school early so she could chat with her mentee before class. Mai is already in the staff room, where she is greeted by the homeroom teacher. Odagiri comes in to escort the new girl into the classroom. When Mai introduces herself, Shino freezes oddly for a few seconds, and then comes to her senses. When the girls leave, the teachers exhale with relief, because all sorts of rumors have been going around about students from Tokyo. Thankfully, Kasai turned out to be very nice, and everyone liked her. On the way to class, Mai films everything on her phone and chats cheerfully with Odagiri. The countryside is so peaceful compared to the huge metropolis, and it's actually dark at night. She points the camera at her new acquaintance, but the girl covers her face and asks her to stop. In class, Kasai comes to the blackboard and introduces herself to her classmates in a very friendly manner. Many of them are clearly intrigued by her, but at recess she still finds herself sitting alone. Mai hears whispers and notices curious looks. The girl herself turns her attention to Fuji's dyed hair and decides that it's time to do something to fit in. But soon, the colorful girl herself and her friends approach Mai to get acquainted with her. Kasai starts discussing cosmetics and talking about what part of Tokyo she came from. She easily maintains a friendly facade, even though in her mind, she thinks the girl is a complete idiot and a country bumpkin. The new classmate's hairstyle also seems awfully stupid to Mai, but she compliments Fuji on it anyway. When the girl arranges to have lunch with her new friends, at the other end of the class, Odagiri suddenly bursts into hysterics and starts gasping for air. Her friend runs up to her and asks her what's wrong. Mai is shocked by this statement. She is sure that she has never bullied anyone, but her classmates seem to have already made up their minds about her. Mai runs out of the classroom after crying Shino. She catches up with the girl, who has regained her composure surprisingly quickly and is now calm, leaning against the wall. Mai tries to figure out what's going on and recalls another victim of evil pranks from her previous class, named Kimura. That girl really did go through a lot and even left the school because of all the bullying. Odagiri confesses that she is that same Kimura. She merely changed her name. However, Kasai argues that she was bullied by other girls and she herself had no part in it, but that doesn't matter to Odagiri, because Mai simply stood there and watched, without intervening. And perhaps she even enjoyed watching the humiliation. Kasai continues to deny all accusations, getting angry at Shino, who is clearly enjoying the situation. With a crazy grin, the girl starts licking her fingers and reaching for the new girl. No matter what Mai says now, no one will believe her, and her life at the new school will be a living hell. Odagiri continues to play the victim. She falls to the floor and starts screaming that she's being beaten. Her friend comes to her aid and takes Shino away, losing any remaining respect for Mai. After that, the new girl becomes an outcast in the class and spends all her time alone. Her only outlet is the online chat with her friends in Tokyo, where she sends videos and tells them about Kimura's revenge. The next day, The loud and somewhat weird Shizuki returns to class after sick leave. She is constantly wearing a puppet on her hand. She immediately runs up to Fuji and her friends, who inform the girl of the recent events. Although Shizuki is eager to meet the new girl, she is also shocked by Odagiri's sad story. Without pausing to think, she approaches Mai and pours water from a bottle over her head to teach the girl a lesson and force out an apology to Shino. Kasai jumps up, wanting to quickly get out of the classroom. Shizuka continues to follow her around, trying to stop her. Mai accidentally pinches Shizuka's fingers with the door and immediately starts apologizing. Meanwhile, Odagiri is acting hysterical again. She screams that Kasai did the same thing to her in middle school. Everyone joins in on the chat, and Mai goes to the restroom to fix her hair. In their group chat, the classmates are devising a plan to teach the Tokyo bully a lesson. Some want to find out more about the quiet and mysterious Odagiri, but their words are drowned out in the conversation. In the evening, Mai's mother asks her daughter about school, but the girl only replies that everything is fine. The next day when she returns to class, she sees insults written in chalk on her desk. Empty snack wrappers have been stuffed in the drawers where she keeps her belongings, and she finds her textbooks in the trash. Kasai tries to stay calm and pulls out her phone to film evidence of the bullying. Fuji starts commenting and taunting her. That's when Mai walks over to the bully's desk and tears up her textbook. After exchanging threats, they separate, and Kasai begins to clean up her desk. Shizuka, with a bandaged hand, says she will share her textbook with her friend. At recess, Mai sends another video of her misadventures to the chat. Odagiri continues to follow her in secret and spots where the new girl keeps her phone. She finds an excuse to stay in class alone to go through it. While Fuji and her friends continue to gossip, another student, Kondo, begins to feel very uncomfortable. On her way home, she timidly tells her classmate that she doesn't want to partake in the bullying. After another lonely evening, Kasai comes to school and catches up with Shizuka in the hallway. She apologizes to her for the door incident, and afterwards tries to reconcile with Fujizuka. But to her surprise, the red-haired girl shows a video that Mai recorded for her friends. In it, the new girl speaks unkindly of the village and calls her classmates' bullying stupid and outdated. The whole class again finds a reason to express their disgust at Mai, some of them out loud, others by snorting contemptuously under their breath. Odagiri, who is clearly behind this incitement, can't hold back a satisfied smirk. Well, Mai has no other choice but to eat lunch alone by an empty pool. Suddenly, a classmate approaches her and gives her an invitation to the school festival. Kasai is excited to finally talk to someone and tries to become friends with her, but the girl says bluntly that it is not beneficial for her to socialize with an outcast and leaves. The distraught Mai is noticed by her stalker, Odagiri, who comes out from around the corner, laughing. She gloats that her vengeance is working and continues to bully the girl. Kasai walks away, wrenching her arm out of the grasp of the obsessed Shino, who even threatens her with death before leaving. One of the quiet classmates looks out the window and witnesses their conversation, but doesn't intervene. All this time, the school staff and even the homeroom teacher have not noticed anything. They believe that after the arrival of the new girl, the class has become even more tight-knit. At the next recess, Fuji and her group happily run out into the hallway. The humiliation repeats, but this time, Kasai is the one being bullied in the restroom. With her hair messed up, the girl sits on the stone floor where Odagiri finds her. She likes to see Kasai humiliated, but the smile on her face suddenly disappears. This comes as a surprise to her, and this time, Shino truly panics and begins to suffocate. Fleeing into the empty corridor, she desperately swallows pills to calm herself down. She is flooded with memories of how she herself was sitting on the bathroom floor. When she used to be bullied, Mai would just stand there, as usual, staring at her phone. Later, all the students decorate the school for the upcoming festival. Fuji and her friends are working with paints under the supervision of the homeroom teacher. But as soon as the woman leaves the room, one of the girls runs up to Mai with a paintbrush in her hand. Shizuka holds the girl from behind, and they start painting her face red. Kasai breaks free and tries to run out of the classroom, but one of the guys holds her back. This kind of open bullying starts to raise more and more questions from the classmates. But Odagiri and the rest of the bullies are, nonetheless, rubbing their hands together in satisfaction. In the restroom, Shino approaches Mai again, trying to see her tears. The stoic Kasai doesn't want to give her bully such pleasure and hurries to leave. But this time, the vengeful schoolgirl apologizes and starts crying herself. This makes Mai stop, and the cruel Odagiri immediately reveals the deception and continues the bullying. She taunts Kasai, warning her that more suffering awaits her, which will make her want to end her life. Mai replies that her classmate is insane and leaves. On the way home, Kondo tries to convince Shizuka that she is doing the wrong thing by indulging in bullying. But the girl doesn't listen. She'll always be on Fuji's side because her friend protected her from bullying in middle school. Mai returns home after another terrible day. Her mother tells her that even fish band together to survive, and such a group can easily take all the food away from lonely fish. The woman asks her daughter if there are any such cliques at school, and even recalls how she herself was once bullied. Suddenly, she sees a spider, gets frightened by it and runs away. An important conversation does not take place again. The day of the festival arrives, and everyone changes into unusual clothes. The boys wear skirts, while the girls put on big ties. When Mai arrives at school, Fuji and Shizuka immediately suggest that she dress up as a janitor. Kasai has no intention of giving in to the provocation, but when she lifts up the shirt, she discovers a bunch of worms inside. The girl screams and leaps away in horror. The bullies start cackling, and in a rage, Mai throws Shizuki's favorite puppet on the floor. The toy breaks, making its owner cry. Kasai runs out of the school gates in a frenzy, wanting to go home, but is stopped by a girl from the music group who invites her to stay for the concert. To make matters worse, Mai ran away without her bag and must go back. Meanwhile, her classmates are still looking for the girl to continue bullying her. Kasai doesn't want to face them and finds an empty room with a bed to hide in. Odagiri notices Mai's absence, and this time pretends to feel guilty about the new girl. After a short nap, Mai leaves the room in a good mood, but immediately runs into Fuji and her friends. They push the girl back in and block the door from the outside. Odagiri sees this and celebrates victory again. While the concert is taking place and everyone is dancing, Mai is sitting alone in the room. She needs to go to the toilet, but no one hears her knocking and pleas for help. The festival ends, and the classmates decide to let the girl out. They come back and unlock the door, intending to harass her again. Fuji pushes Mai, and she tries to run out. The girl can't hold it in anymore, and involuntarily pees on the bed. The bully laughs and asks others to take pictures of the humiliation. At this point, Kondo can't stand aside.
どうしたの、近藤さん。
お願いだから、もうやめて、藤塚さん。
But Mai keeps standing her ground, saying that she doesn't care about their attempts to break her. She takes off her wet underwear and throws it at the wall in a rage. The drops fly at one of the abusers, and the classmates leave the new girl alone. Only one of the boys returns to offer the girl dry clothes instead of her dirty ones. While Mai, with tears in her eyes, cleans the stained bed, the classmate tries to convince Fuji to stop before it's too late. The girl doesn't take his words seriously. At the same time, an anonymous note is slipped into the staff room, stating that there is bullying going on in the class. The next day, Mai does not want to go to school and stays in her bed. Her classmates discuss the events of the previous day, savoring all the humiliating and disgusting details. Under the guise of another panic attack, Odagiri goes to the bathroom, where she bursts into mad laughter of delight. Meanwhile, Mai takes a train to Tokyo and meets up with her old friends. For the first time in a long while, she has a great time and forgets her troubles. But one of the girls asks about her life in the countryside. Mai confesses that things are not going well, and she regrets the mistakes of her past, for which she is now paying the price. Her friend replies that she too is having a hard time in high school and is often lonely, but at least she doesn't get bullied and she was able to choose her class, so she feels okay. She suggests that Mai go back to Tokyo to change her life for the better. In response, the resilient girl says she's not going to give up. Her friends accept her decision and advise her to change her hairstyle. Surprised by this suggestion, Kasai returns home and her mother supports her decision to dye her hair. The next day, Mai returns to school, shocking her classmates with the new color. She is now a redhead, just like Fuji. The star of the class can't ignore this insolence, but gets an unexpected response.
前から言おうと思ってたんだけど、その髪型めっちゃダサいから。
Fuji is very upset and hurt, but at recess, the homeroom teacher comes up to her and asks her about the note about bullying. When she says she doesn't know anything, she goes back to the classroom and questions everyone about who snitched to the teacher. Seeing that Kondo is very nervous, Mai takes the blame. For this, Fuji pours a bottle of ink on her head, laughing. The girl accepts the humiliation again without shedding a single tear. On the way home, Kondo catches up with Mai and thanks her for covering for her. Kasai says she knew right away that it was useless to go to the teachers at this school. Kondo apologizes. She didn't know what else to do to stop the bullying. She doesn't want to become like Shizuka or to support wrongdoing. The girl has known her since middle school, but lately she has fallen under Fujizuki's bad influence. Mai invites her new friend over for tea. Later, Kasai asks Kondo for her phone so she can text Fuji pretending to be her. They strike up a conversation about Shizuka, and the red-headed classmate replies that she thinks the girl is stupid. The children's toys she constantly carries around smell bad, and their friendship is a forced one, instead of sincere. After receiving the valuable dirt, Mai thanks her friend, screenshots the messages, and forwards them to herself. During gym class, Kasai asks Kondo to sneak into the classroom and damage Fuji's phone so she can't delete her messages. The girl finds it, throws it into a bucket of water, then returns the phone to its original place. At the end of the school day, Kondo approaches Shizuka and leads her to Mai. The girl doesn't believe the betrayal, but reads her friend's hurtful messages nonetheless. Kondo fears that Shizuka might be the next victim of Fuji's bullying. Bullying always starts unexpectedly.
次の日になったらいきなり来るでしょ。怖いよね。見えないところで何があったか想像するしかないからさ。
Knowing that the girl was a victim of bullying, Kasai pushes her sore spot by reading Fuji's cruel words aloud over and over again. Shizuka can't reach her friend on the phone and runs away in tears. Mai orders Kondo to run after her and help her classmate deal with her emotions. In the classroom, Fuji tries unsuccessfully to turn on her cell phone and is startled by a loud scream. She goes to the stairs, where she sees Shizuka lying unconscious. It seems she fell down the stairs and is seriously injured. The girl is taken to the hospital with fractures. The frightened classmates don't understand what just happened. Since Fuji was the first to find her friend, everyone suspects her of acting violently. In addition, the girl herself seems to be more concerned about her non-working phone. Mai pretends not to know anything either. She secretly crosses out Shizuki's name in her notebook. Afterward, she approaches the guy who helped her and gave her dry clothes. The girl thanks him and gives him a couple of gifts. They chat, and Mai learns more about her classmates. In particular, who's dating whom and who has a crush on whom. It turns out that the quiet guy who wasn't involved in the bullying is dating Odagiri's best friend. The girl particularly hates Mai because Odagiri told her in great detail about the bullying at her previous school. On top of that, the girl's own mother wasn't supportive of her and instead beat her up as well. It's unclear which of that is true, but the conclusion is obvious. Odagiri's psyche clearly couldn't handle the stress. But the problem is that the girl's friend doesn't know about her cruel and deceitful actions. Hence, Mai catches her boyfriend alone to sow a seed of doubt about the words of the insane classmates through him. With a smile on her face, Kasai crosses off another name in her notebook. One by one, the students change their attitude to the situation. Now it's Fuji who is sitting alone, listening to the suspicious whispers around her. The former leader cannot find company for her way home either. Odagiri, of course, notices that the situation has changed. She finds Mai in her usual spot by the pool and accuses her of foul play. Kasai replies that she feels sorry for Odagiri, who is a prisoner of psychological trauma. In confirmation of her words, the girl explodes with anger.
抜け出せるわけないだろあんなひどいこと毎日言われて
She gasps for air again and screams that her pain is unbearable. She was indeed treated horribly, but Odagiri has clearly learned the wrong lessons from her experience. She comes to her senses abruptly and pulls out a box cutter, either as intimidation or to truly cope with her condition. She cuts her hand right in front of Mai. Shino laughs menacingly, but this has no effect, and Kasai calmly walks away. Odagiri, covered in blood, comes to the nurse's office to have her wound dressed. Afterward, the doctor invites the homeroom teacher for a visit and asks if everything is all right with her class. She receives an unexpected answer.
他人が絡んでどうこうするより生き残る術を自分で見つけた方が
Since the adults have really withdrawn themselves from the problems of the class, Mai takes matters into her own hands. She comes home and goes through her videos. It turns out that she managed to film Shino threatening her with the box cutter at the pool. And before that, she had also made sure to record every horrible thing Odagiri had said to her in private. The trap has slammed shut, and now she has everything she needs to complete her plan. After gathering enough evidence so that the others believe her for sure, Mai posts all the videos online and writes the website address on the school blackboard the next day. The students begin to eagerly study the evidence. Odagiri enters the classroom, realizing that she is done for. Even the teaching staff has become aware of what is going on, and the principal starts questioning the homeroom teacher. Fuji is shocked the most. She desperately tries to get answers from Shino, but the girl has nothing to say in her defense. Unnerved, the classmate runs up to Mai, hoping to hear that she was the first to start bullying Odagiri.
お前が悪いんだろねえってばね、なんとか言ってよ
But Kasai only coldly notes that her abuser is now all alone. The whole class starts whispering that Fuji has screwed up, and the girl faints. Other students begin to approach Mai and ask for forgiveness. Though their attempts don't appear particularly sincere, Shino snaps and yells at Kasai, blaming her for all the bad things that have ever happened to her. After hearing the bitter truth that it's high time she took responsibility for her own life, Odagiri falls to the floor as well. Mai helps her and Fuji up, and then, enraged, goes to the front of the class. She finally decides to let all her emotions out. The girl accuses her classmates of either participating in bullying or looking the other way. With their gossip and evil words, they pitted people whom they, just yesterday, considered friends against each other. It is impossible to just blame one person, so everyone must take responsibility.
お前らのせいで私たちは毎日地獄を見てんだよ
Mai doesn't consider herself innocent because she too has played by these cruel rules. She feels guilty about it, but she won't forgive her classmates either. The girl points her finger at everyone so that no one can hide behind other people's backs. After finishing her fiery speech, the girl runs out of the classroom, and the teacher and her class are left stunned by her apt words. The movie also features an after-credits scene in which Kondo walks past a stairway and remembers standing over the fallen Shizuka with a blank face. The movie is based on a manga of the same name. In case you didn't know, a manga is a kind of Japanese comic book. Sometimes very unusual and frightening plots that appear in such comics become the inspiration for many games, movies, and TV series that we see on our screens. As always, look for the movie title in the description of the video. In the meantime, let us know in the comments. Do you have anything to repent for from your school years? And don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like the video so that more awesome stories come out as often as possible.